Good morning, everyone. Thank God for technology. Well, I would never have made such a statement this time last year. This was me at this time last year, and this is me now. I have definitely made progress. And I'm very grateful for the progress that I have made, thanks to the help of my colleagues, but also for the fact that thanks to technology, we can teach you remotely. It is clear that it is not ideal way for pupils to learn and indeed for teachers to teach, but we have no choice. And when we are dictated by circumstances, there are two things we can do. We can either moan and groan and lull into self-pity or soldier on. And to me that means to make the most of it by ensuring that we embrace the situation and make the experience as positive as possible for ourselves, but also for one another. We might not be physically together in class, but thankfully, through the magic of technology, and when you think about it, it is magical, we can be brought together, share this experience, and support one another. So what I will do now is list a few tips to ensure that you enjoy your remote lessons and maximize your learning, of course, but that you also support your teacher and one another in that endeavor. First of all, you must approach your school day in the same way that you would if you were coming to school. Do not get up 5 minutes before tutor time starts. Do not stay in your nightwear and give yourself plenty of time to have a shower, to have breakfast and prepare yourself for the day. After all, you do not have a journey time, so you have no excuse not to be ready. In the same way that you would prepare your bag to go to school, you should all have the relevant textbooks, exercise book, writing equipment or anything else which you might need ready and laid out in your working area. If some of your books are at school, I believe that your teachers are organizing for them to be collected, but you should always have a notepad and a pen ready anyway. Do work in a quiet place, away from distractions and noise. Avoid working in your bedroom, and if you need to do so, that is fine. And of course, I'm thinking of you boarders. But if you work in your bedroom, you must ensure that you're not lying in bed, but that you are sitting at a desk. Don't make yourself too comfortable, or you might be tempted to nod off. Do move about during breaks. Go to another room and try and get some fresh air. Use your games time to do some exercise, walking, running, fitness, and give yourself lots of time away from screens. You are at home more and you have more time. So read a book, spend a little more time with your parents or your siblings or your friends if you're a boarder. Call your grandmother more often. Keep your mobiles out of reach. The only time you should use your mobile is possibly when your teachers ask you to work as a group, and of course in those circumstances I can see why you might organize a group chat. But if your teachers do not expect you to work as a group, and they probably have a good reason for that, then do not contact each other, whether it is to ask for answers or to socialize, which would of course mean that you are not focusing on your lesson. Do approach every lesson with the same respect that you would in your lessons at school. Do not do anything that would distract the lesson. Respond swiftly to your teacher's instructions. Engage fully. Volunteer answers. Stay focused until the end of the lesson. And support one another and your teacher. If you think that one of your peers is getting it wrong, do tell them when you catch up after the lesson. Do not be a sheep and stand up for what you think is right. It's your education after all, and it will shape the rest of your life. Every lesson counts, and if you choose to do so, you will learn something every minute, every second, every split second. Do not waste the precious time you are given. In the words of Benjamin Franklin, "Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for time is the stuff that life is made of." Have a great week.
Good morning, school. I am delighted to be welcoming you back to Dover College in the new year of January 2021. Now, you may wonder why we call January, January. The word came, like so many others, from an ancient Roman word. It's the name of one of the gods from Roman mythology, Janus. Now, Janus is the god of many things. He's a god of new beginnings, of transitions, of time, and of endings. He looks to the past and he looks to the future. So Janus is often shown as a two-headed god. One face looking behind him to the past and the other face looking forward to the future. It's easy to see why January should be the first month of the new year. But in this assembly, I do not want to look backwards. We all know about the events of last year. Instead, I want to be the Janus face looking forward to the new year and being excited about the hopeful possibilities that the new year offers us in the future. And looking to the future, one of my roles at Dover College here is to be the face of careers guidance. Now, I always find it very interesting that some people in their lifetime can have up to 9 different jobs. I don't mean that they do the same job, but in different places. I mean that they do 9 different jobs. For example, someone can leave school and start work as an accountant, then maybe they become a police officer, then perhaps they go into teaching, and maybe they end their career by being a childminder. And that's just one example. So, looking to the future, if you leave school expecting to be changing jobs throughout your lifetime, how can you prepare at school for making those changes? Well, one way is to have a flexible set of skills that can be applied from one job to another. For example, empathetic people with good listening skills can move easily from one job to another because they find it easy to get on with people whatever the job is. And so it's the attitude that you bring to life and its challenges that makes all the difference. And I want to tell you about one of my favourite stories. It involves 2 journeys, it involves 2 careers, and 2 very different people who were making changes whilst they were moving from one town to another. But they had very different attitudes to life. There was once a trader who, fed up with life in his old town, decided to seek out a new life in a new town. As he neared the new town, he met a wise old woman and stopped to ask her what the people were like in the town ahead. The old woman thought for a moment, and then she asked him what people were like in the town that he had just left. "Oh, they were horrible, mean to me, tried to cheat me, talked behind my back, stole things from me, said nasty things about me." "Oh dear," said the old woman. "I'm afraid you're going to find people in the new town are exactly the same." The trader went on his way, grumbling to himself. Now, as it happened, another trader was also leaving the old town to begin a new life in the new town. On his way, he too met the same wise old woman. He too asked her what the people were like in the new town. The wise old woman thought for a moment and asked him what the people were like in the town that he had just left. "Oh, they were wonderful. They were kind, they were helpful, they were good to each other. If they knew you were in trouble, they would do anything to help you." The old woman smiled. "Well," she said, "you're in luck. The people in the new town are exactly the same." The trader thanked her for her news and went on his way, whistling happy to himself and looking forward to his new life. So, 2 people leaving exactly the same old town and going to exactly the same new town, but having 2 very different attitudes to life. I think you know which one of those 2 people was the happier. In this new year, then, learn from the story of the 2 traders. Approach this Janus, this January, and the rest of this new year with a positive, hopeful, and cheerful expectation that good things will happen. And they probably will. Thank you for listening. We will end with a prayer. Dear God, thank you for all the good things in the last year. The heroic NHS, the unsung key worker heroes, and the kindnesses that people show to each other in this crisis. We are sorry that we sometimes are so wrapped up in our own troubles that we sometimes forgot to look after others. Please help us to remember to be grateful for all that we have, for all that we will have, and to live a life of cheer, to cheer up those around us in this new year of new hope and new possibilities for a better future. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning to all the students and teachers all the way from Mauritius. I was planning to be back in January, but of course that we're back in lockdown and schools are closed again. I'm currently still in Mauritius. This is odd as I feel as though I've gone back in time. Although this time around we are more prepared than ever to do online learning, it will always be unusual and hard. Not being able to be around your classmates and have that sense of community is one thing I personally feel I miss the most at the moment, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. I feel very lucky to be in a COVID-free paradise, to say the least, and have my family around me, but nevertheless, I am missing not being able to see my teachers and house parents, as the support I am given by them gives me a sense of comfort knowing that I'm able to gain help whenever needed. However, I'm grateful for the support they are giving me remotely. Even 6,300 miles away, I feel the warmth of Dover College. COVID is something that has changed the whole world and put a lot of things into perspective. It has been a tough time for everyone, from not being able to be with your friends to losing loved ones. During this time, I've tried my best to prioritize my mental health and tried my best to be there for my friends when they were going through a tough time. I want you all to know that you have the support from all of us at school if you need someone to talk to. The prefect team is here to help you whenever, and so are all the teachers. So stay focused on your studies, make the most of online lessons, what else is there to do anyways, and continue to work hard so that when we come out of this, you can be proud of yourself and what you've achieved. Many thanks for listening and take care of yourself. I'm looking forward to seeing you all very soon.